Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! I was shopping at a store that rhymes with Straff Easy this weekend on the way home from a really awesome date night with my fiancé. So I was dressed pretty nicely, black jacket, black skirt and heels. Fiancé and I usually go our separate ways in the store to achieve the best efficiency of finishing our list as fast as possible. So I was alone when this interaction started. An older Karen, probably around 60, was putting around the soup aisle and hemming and hawing at the sale 10 for $10, and I guess she saw me with my cart putting something back on the shelf. She cleared her throat a few times and stomped around, but obviously I was just minding my own business.
Hey, lady.
Me, deciding between Straffsay brand mac and cheese or Kraft.
Hey you, manager. Excuse me, hey.
I finally acknowledge her. Oh, me? I'm not a manager. Did you need some help or something?
Well, obviously you're a manager. Why else would you be dressed like that? Which of these soups count for the 10 for 10?
I am not a manager. I don't really work here, and I don't know, probably the ones that are directly labeled in a sign that says 10 for 10?
What the hell is your problem?
You're the one yelling at me. Karen stomped over, waging her finger at me like I was a child, yelling at me about customer service, how I should do my job and help her choose her soups. And all that's wrong with the youth today. Something also along the lines of me getting fired for incompetence. I don't know how I zoned out. Ma'am, if you need help, please go up to one of the cashiers at work here and ask him. I'm here buying food just like you.
Stop lying. Do you think I'm stupid? You're a manager here. You're wearing the costume. You think you can just…
Okay, listen. Then Karen interrupts me and smacks my hand, making me drop the box of mac and cheese I was holding.
Do not interrupt me.
What the heck, lady? You just hit me.
Yeah, I did. You interrupted me.
Seriously, what the heck? At this point, my fiancé heard my yelling and zoomed over. He was also dressed nicely, button up, black slacks and the works. What's happening here? Are you alright? He asks. She just slapped my hand because she's too sick to hear me when I say I don't work here. What?
You need to fire this witch. She won't do her job.
Do you really think everyone dressed remotely nice is a manager? Cricket sounds.
Well, I know she is. She was putting back that jar earlier.
Yeah, because I didn't want to buy it, you dumb weirdo.
You can't talk to me that way.
I then tell my fiancé grab an actual manager, please. I want to call the cops on this crazy witch.
I'm a paying customer.
So are we. She stepped back in shock that we both yelled at her, and fiancé waved over some poor, unsuspecting person. The actual manager got there, and the lady started her nonsense again about how both me and my fiancé should get fired, how we suck, and so on, blah blah blah. She proudly admitted to hitting me, by the way, which was hilarious. The manager looked at us and back at her and told her to apologize for hitting me and that she should leave. She again mentioned my manager costume and how it's my fault. The manager in his actual manager outfit pointed at his badge and name tag, also to his specific all-black outfit, and tried to explain to her that all managers are dressed like heroes, that we were definitely not managers just because we looked nice, and she's assaulting another customer.
But she deserved it for talking back to me.
The manager had this "I want to run you over with a car" look on his face, and he slowly spoke to her like she was free, again explaining that we didn't work there. I piped up, asking the manager politely to inform the woman that if she didn't apologize, I would like him to call the police and file for assault. The manager repeated this to the lady slowly, and the lady screeched and threw a can on the ground, swiping her arm through a bunch of the soups, causing them to avalanche to the ground, and briskly waddled out of the store. We helped the manager pick up the soups, even though he kept saying sorry and that we didn't have to help him. And he asked if I really wanted to press charges, and I said yes. We also said that we will provide our statement for his police report as well. We later laughed about my manager costume and got a $30 gift card to use for our groceries. Decades ago, I was backpacking through Europe with a friend. The trip started off great, but a couple weeks in, we were in an overnight sleeping car on the train. While all the other passengers from our room were in a dining car, he tried to touch me inappropriately. First, I thought he was joking, but he wouldn't stop no matter what I did or said. I fought. I begged him to stop. He kept insisting. He only stopped when the other passengers came in. I was in too much shock and disbelief to say or do anything after. I was in a foreign country, all alone except for him. The next morning, he acted like nothing happened. I doubted myself. Was I overreacting? We checked into a hostel and left all our belongings in a locker. Important detail. We then went into the town to explore. I timidly brought up the previous night. He gaslighted me so hard, he almost had me believing I was the one who harassed him. I excused myself to go to the ladies' room, then it hit me. I realized what really happened and how serious it was. So I got some revenge. I snuck back to the hostel and I told him we weren't staying after all and got a full cash refund for his spot too. They were fully booked and our 2 spots were snatched up before I even left the lobby. I took our stuff out of the locker and left his bag sitting unsecured. I took all shared supplies such as food, guidebooks, and the Thomas Cook train schedule book. This was before the internet. Trust me when I say the book was vital and expensive. I hopped the next train to the opposite end of Europe. Before I did, I made a quick international call to his mother, telling her what he had done. Worth every penny. I wish I could have seen his face when he realized I wasn't coming back from the ladies' room. And later when he had nowhere to stay that night, no food, and no idea where the next train was. And then when he talked to his very angry mother. The one thing I didn't do was take his passport. The hostel was holding them, and they tried to give his passport to me when I checked us out, but I only took things that belong at least in part to me. Why stoop to this level? When I was around 15, I was walking down the sidewalk from the woods where I was climbing some trees and messing around. I saw a lemonade stand. Some kids were getting ready and approached the stand to see how much the lemonade cost. When I spotted a Karen-looking figure jogging along the sidewalk towards the stand. The kid who was running the stand had gone inside to get things for the stand, leaving me alone by the table. Karen approaches me and says, "Hey kid, can I get 1 glass of lemonade?" I didn't think much of it and responded that it was not my lemonade stand, but Karen was not having it. I started off walking away, but she said, "Ahem, I asked for some lemonade," in a pretty voice. I once again said that I did not own the lemonade stand. She grabbed me by my shirt, and she pulled me back to the stand. "You know you work here. Now get me some lemonade, you brat." I got scared and ran off down the sidewalk with Karen yelling after me. I got home and I thought it was over. But after 15 minutes, there was a knock at the door. My mom answered to see Karen standing there. "Can I help you?" My mom said, "Your brat of a child assaulted me and refused to serve me lemonade." She said, my mom was bewildered. "What? Lemonade? My son isn't selling lemonade. That's the ex-brother's lemonade stand. I got some from them yesterday." Karen started looking nervous. "Well, your son touched me." And that's when my mom screamed at her for lying about such a topic and being a disgusting human being. Then she shut the door in her face and locked it. And I had not seen Karen since. At the time before a personal issue happened in November, I, 17 female, worked at a local hobby store. I stocked shelves, cleaned up after people tried all the markers on anything nearby, and would leave them in whatever copy that was in reach. And I'd also cashier a few nights a week, making the big money to afford my daily girly needs. I quit working there because of the personal issues. This past Monday, I went in there to get some art supplies for a project the therapist recommended, and to see how I feel about going back out into the world. I was dressed in a large black baggy hoodie and baggy sweats, nothing like an employee. My earbuds were in but not on. They dull the noise but don't completely make it silent. I heard the click 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 of someone wearing heels, a distinctive sound. The sound stopped and I could see a shadow darken me as I looked at drum pads. My heart started speeding up and I was beginning to sweat. Then she said those words.
Excuse me?
It wasn't dripping with contempt yet. Yes, I say back.
Where are the little painting cups to paint the porcelain Christmas villages?
She did ask nicely. I tell her I don't know, and she got mad.
You do know where they are. So where are they?
I stepped back and began to shake. I don't know. I don't work here.
Yes, you do. You helped me find stuff last Halloween. Quit lying to me and tell me where the paints are.
I begin to have a panic attack. It's been 6 months since I worked here and the store's been rearranged.
You kids are so lazy. You think because there is a worker shortage you can just do what you want and not get fired for mouthing off to customers? I'll show you how wrong you are when I get your manager and get you fired.
I dropped the supplies I was holding and turned to leave. I'm not crying, I just want to be away from this crazy lady. Then she grabs me. As I'm spun to face her again, she shoves her finger in my face, and the screeching is piercing even with the headphones on. And things went to black. When I came back to reality, I was being checked on by paramedics. A few police officers were standing around with a lady in handcuffs screeching.
I didn't do anything to her. See, she is just crazy. I can't believe this place hires crazy people.
I ended up going to the hospital and the lady is being charged with assault. I'll find out more in the future since this was just a few days old. Update. What happened to me? I read the statements from the police report and from what a few former co-workers told me, when she grabbed me, I fell to the ground going into the fetal position whimpering that I don't work here. And I kept repeating it in panic. Some customers saw what was going on and got the manager. Someone else called 911. The lady just stood there with her mouth fish gaping and repeating,
I didn't touch her.
After a night in the hospital, a visit with my therapist, I am home and waiting for a delivery from Amazon with the supplies I went to get. I am glad the world is homebound friendly these days. Jose and I have been casual friends since elementary school. I say casual because I treated him as a friend, but he would constantly bully and ostracize me in front of our friend group. Dumping big poop in my shoes, stealing from me, lying to teachers to get me in trouble, and so on. Just an all-round total jerk since birth, really. But he was friends with my friends. So the little poop was always stuck to the heel of my shoes. Enter high school. Senior year. Jose and I had drifted apart years before, but we were still on acquaintance terms and had similar friends. During that time, I experimented with weed once. Literally just once or two tokes off a J at a friend's place. But to some people, especially in high school, that makes you the burnout queen. Jose was one of those people. Jose also loved making people's life miserable every chance he got. It was a genuine hobby of his. So when he found out I'd smoked, he was in heaven. He took it as a personal invitation to begin tormenting me harder than ever before. And that's when I started to notice a dent in my car. At first it was small, a tiny ding here, some trash on the windshield there, but I quickly realized I was being targeted. And I knew he was the only one capable of that kind of petty nonsense. At first, I did the reasonable thing. I went to the school and I let them know that someone was vandalizing my car and that I had a strong suspicion it was Jose. Simple as that. So, they said they would handle it. They let me go and called for Jose to come to the office. Great. They will take care of it, right? It's all settled now, right? Wrong. So wrong. The next day I was called back to the office and there was a security guard sitting there with the principal. They sat me down and explained that Jose had informed them that I was dealing drugs at the school. What the heck? I have not once in my life to this day ever sold drugs of any kind. It's just not my thing. But of course, the wonderful school policy states that this accusation alone is grounds for expulsion. And that's exactly what the principal was planning to do. So I come to you, Mr. Principal, accusing a student of bullying me. He tells you an obvious lie to deflect the blame onto me and you buy it? And he gets off scot-free? No way. I immediately defended myself to the water-brain principal and his lackey, explaining that Jose's accusation was an obvious lie, but they weren't having it. We have a zero-tolerance policy for drugs of any kind, and we take these issues seriously. Okay, so that didn't work, and now I'm facing expulsion months before graduating. They gave me a week to get Jose to rescind his accusation or I will be expelled. So fair. Time to take matters into my own hands. Again, I tried the reasonable thing first. I called Jose and told him that we both knew the truth, and that if he didn't rescind his false accusation, I'd screw up his life. Heck, if I had to, I'd get lawyers involved. Jose of course laughed at me and told me to get lost. Ha, okay. I tried to play nice. From there, I did what any high school ganja would do in this situation. I played dirty. The night of that phone call to Jose, I put all the preparations in place. It was so easy, all I had to do was tape a camcorder to the sun visor in the front seat of my car, park in a school lot and hit record. See, Jose knew I'd accused him of vandalizing my car, but I had a feeling he was too stupid and evil to stop. So I waited. For the first couple of days, nothing. I would sift through the hours of footage each night and come up empty. I started to get worried Jose was onto me, and the plan wouldn't work. And then it happened. I was fast forwarding through yet another day's worth of video when suddenly a body shifts into frame, directly in front of my car. It's Jose. I watch as he and some friends of his stand there inspecting my car, looking for something to screw up that wouldn't get them in trouble. Jerks. Then he does it. Standing directly in front of the hidden camera, face in full view, he spits a giant tube of snot directly onto the hood. Jackpot. I could hardly wait to get to school the next day. First thing, I near sprinted to the principal's office and handed out the video in a pretty yellow envelope. Then I walked off to class with the biggest justice feeling I've ever experienced. Later that day, the principal called me down for a final chat. Apparently, after they had shown Jose the footage, he'd had a massive moment of clarity and realized that I actually hadn't been dealing drugs. Shocker! And due to the spitting, unfortunately I didn't get footage of him actually damaging my car. Jose would receive a 2-week suspension. Yeah. So for the next fortnight, Jose was gone, and I got to float around campus like the true weed empress I deserve to be. No way, Jose. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.